Kenny here regarding Simplify. It is September 12th, and today I'm going to talk about planting celery. So let's take a look. This is just going to be a short video. There's no need to have a real long one. Now, celery seeds are really, really tiny. Uh, you got a handful of seeds here, and you can see these are just really, really little. And they're so little that even if I take my camera and put it down by this tray, you wouldn't see that I've already laid seeds down there. And the whole thing about them, make sure I get this package closed good. But the whole thing about it, now I should have planted these celery a couple weeks ago, but those who know me and watch my videos, I go to my own schedule. A lot of times I don't have time. A lot of times I might have to wait on seeds because I didn't pay attention, didn't have them, whichever reason. But even though I'm a couple weeks late, this celery will do just fine. What I'm going to do is I use my handy dandy jug here, and I'm not going to bury these. I'm just going to water these in. I've found now if I put just a little bit of covering on them, they don't germinate as well as whenever I just water them in. So if you're trying to grow celery and you're having a problem with germination on them, the thing might be that your seeds are just a little bit too deep. These are small seeds. They don't like to be planted very deep. Now, I know I see a lot of people talk about cover them, and they'll cover them with perlite or something. But like I say, I just get a whole lot better germination. I plant them in a cell tray, and this is quite a few. I mean, most your home gardeners wouldn't plant this many. And what we do with a lot of ours is once we harvest it, we freeze dry it, and some of it we powder up, some of it we leave it into bigger pieces, depending on what we may want to use it for. But this little bit of watering, and because of the coarseness of this soil, and that's what happens when I bury it, I think, is I put it a certain depth, and then when I water, because of the coarseness of the soil, it actually ends up getting buried a little deeper than I would want it to be. So once I've gone to this method, and it's hard to put just a couple of seeds in a spot because how small they are. So most likely you'd have to thin them, which is not no big deal. I make sure I water them good. I want plenty of moisture. And then once I finish watering these in, I'll put me a little plastic dome over it. You could use saran wrap or something if you don't, or even when I didn't have a lot of domes, I would just use a piece of plastic that was big enough to cover it. But anyway, that's all it takes. I'll put my cover on here, I'll put it on the shelf, and then I'll just wait for these to pop up. Now, celery grows really small. I mean really slow. So don't expect it to jump up and just take off. And if it's growing slow, don't worry about it. That's normal. Now, I might sprinkle me a little or spray a little peroxide mix on this to keep any fungus down that might come in. I'm going back to my original starting mix, which is 3 parts, even parts of compost, perlite, and peat moss. So, and it tends to grow a little bit of mold on top of it. So I'll spray that down, and that takes care of it. But anyway, I hope this little tip helps you to grow celery. And if you've never grown celery, you don't know the fabulous flavor of homegrown celery, because it is just wonderful. It's a whole lot more flavor than in the stores. Of course, I don't try to blanch mine. I just let it grow, and it's a little darker green. chlorophyll is always good for the body. So that pale celery is not going to be as nutritious as the homegrown. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to see more of these and you're not a subscriber, of course, hit that subscribe, uh, hit that bell, and select all so you get all the notifications. And of course, give it a big thumbs up. Keep enjoying that gardening experience.